Caleb Williams, right? 5-star recruit at Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley a year ago. He makes the transition, makes the move with the transfer portal with his head coach. I think there's a lot of interest in USC simply because of all that. This team was a 4-win team a year ago. A lot of expectations now. Talk to us about Caleb Williams, and then maybe it can lead into your book, 5-Star Quarterback, and what it's been like to mentor and be around these great players over the last decade of your career.
Yeah, for sure, man. Caleb is a one-percenter to me. He's really unique as a player, as a human, as a thought leader. He reminds me a lot at that age. I can remember when I met Jameis Winston when he was 17, when I met Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Tua Tagovailoa. There was all of them had something, a unique trait about them outside of just being able to pass. And everybody can do that in high school now. And he's proven to be that type of guy. I think when you talk to anybody on the staff here at SC, from when he arrived to now here they are, week 1 of camp, almost concluding, it's his work ethic. I mean, he does it by example. He does not come out of the school of quarterbacks in terms of they're supposed to be 6'3.5" and big, tall pocket passes. I mean, this guy is a dynamic player. He can do everything, and he can sit in the pocket and deal. So I'm excited. I think he's truly got the it factor, which I define as you walk into a room, people feel your presence, and you make them better. That's who he is. He's a guy who, first time he got to SC, his first job, he said, was to get to know everybody's name, from the walk-on to the equipment manager to everybody in between, because he wanted to make people feel like he cared about them, and not just, hey, man, how you doing? Hey, what's up? But everything about him is purpose-driven. I think he's going to end up becoming the blueprint for huge recruits who are really talented as well and find success on how to manage expectation. So I'm pumped for him, and as I sit outside of their facility, I'm looking at the book that you referenced, 5-Star QB, and his face is on the cover, along with 50-plus other quarterbacks. And the reason that we wrote this book was really twofold. One is that over the last 15-plus years doing Elite 11, parents and players are asking the same questions, and now the pressure is only intensifying. The money is only growing. The expectations are through the roof. Nobody knows how to deal with it, right? You can't Google how to be a 5-star player. You can't Google how to be a walk-on. You definitely can't Google how to be a parent of either one of those. So Joey and I sat together and we said, we got to create a book that will serve as a tribe of mentors for anybody going through this process. So whether it's a guy in college now or in the NFL now or in high school at Pop Warner now or their families, we think this book, which is almost 600 pages, offers advice on everything you can dream of, from how to take a visit, what it's like to commit, to decommit, how do you deal with and manage mental health, how do you deal with women on campus, how do you, when you transfer or you transfer twice, what is that process like, to what the realities around the NFL. And it's really fun as we asked over 50 of these quarterbacks the same 20-plus questions to hear their feedback. So I'm looking at the cover, and it's Caleb Williams, Matt Barkley, Jimmy Clausen, Josh Rosen, up and down the list, Sam Ehlinger, Will Greer. I mean, it's a who's who of quarterbacks that adorn that 5-star ranking. And what we learned in our process was not one of them ever asked for it, but all of a sudden they got thrust into a spotlight. And that's why the cover, my last point, the cover is their faces, because I want fans to see their faces. And all too often when a quarterback commits to a school, you see their YouTube highlights, you see their arm, you see their ranking. But you often forget that there's a human in there. And while the pressures continue to grow, and Ryan, you know this better than anybody, the development of a 19-year-old is pretty much the same across the board. Like, your brain is still developing. You're trying to figure out how to deal with this thing. And that's why in the book we added not only quarterback answers, but 40 ambassadors of the game. Holinsky family offering their advice. Brenda Tracy, offer your advice. Mike Gervais, the psychologist, offer your advice. Pete Carroll, Dan Lanning, Lincoln Riley, David Shaw, Jed Fish, Ryan Day, all the people that I really admire in the coaching and football world, to say, give these guys a roadmap. Give them just one thing to take away, and that's what this book is, man. It is it's one of one right now, and I think it's going to be really cool to, for a player and their family to dig through and be like, I got a question about this. Go to Chapter 8 and talk about recruiting or whatever it may be.